Hey gorgeous lucky bee. Today we're talking about something that's super important and very close to my heart. It's getting out of debt. So if you're in debt right now and it's really weighing on you, I have got so much information for you about how you can release it, how you can get a plan, and how one day in the future you'll be debt free, and it's totally worth it. So let's get right into it. Chop, 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 chop. Okay, lucky bee. Oh my gosh, can I just tell you something? You know, pretty much all of my 20s, all of my life, I was in debt. And being in debt is actually pretty socially acceptable. You know, by the time I was 25, I had quite a few credit cards, I had personal loans, I had overdrafts, and I had a mortgage as well in my late 20s. So I totally understand that feeling of being in debt and feeling like it's never going to go away. On the other side of it now, where I am debt free, except for my mortgage, I don't have any consumer debt, I don't have loans, I want to tell you how amazing that feels. There is a freedom in it. There is just a feeling of you don't owe anything to anyone. You are under no obligation, and you are not trapped to do things that you don't want to do because you have to pay off debt. So that's what I want you to think about when you are going through this process. And I have so many tips for you that I don't have in this video. So if you're watching this off my website, make sure you come over, and I've put a special link at luckybitch.com/debt where you can come and see all of the resources that I've got for you, because I want you to come up with a really great plan so you can feel like you're on track, and so you can feel like one day you will be there, you will be debt free. And of course, I've got some tips in this video for you, lucky bitch style, about how you can deal with the mental side of it, because obviously that's where I can help you. Now, one of the first things that you can do from a mental mindset point of view is to do a lot of forgiveness. Forgiveness work on yourself, forgiveness work on your debt, forgiveness work on anyone who you feel has contributed to you being in debt, whether you have blame for the government or your university or the bank for lending you the money when you really shouldn't have borrowed it. Or maybe somebody else has got you into debt, and that can be very common for women, that you've gotten into debt to help others, or maybe you didn't realize that someone was getting you into debt, or maybe this is joint debt that you've gotten out of a divorce or a marriage. So my first mindset tip is to forgive. Forgiveness for yourself and others. That will help you get rid of some of the mental and emotional clutter behind your debt, and then you're going to feel like you can actually take action on it and you can do something about it. When you are carrying a lot of shame, blame, anger, resentment, all of that old crap, it's very difficult to actually do anything about it, because you will continue to feel paralyzed, helpless, angry, etc. When you get rid of all that emotional clutter, you will actually have some freedom to come up with some ideas to get past it. So that's my first tip. The second tip is to get really clear. How much debt have you actually got? Now, this might seem like a really obvious question for some of you who are really organized, but a couple of years ago when I was in debt, I actually had a vague but not an exact sense of how much I owed. I didn't know what my balance was on any of my credit cards. I didn't know how much interest I was paying on any of my credit cards. I didn't even know what my minimum payment was, and if I was even paying the minimum payment. So knowledge is power here, and it can be really powerful for you to know. And if you're afraid of even looking, well, that's obviously going to be a problem, because it could be, it could be getting worse. I actually found out that my payment that it was going a couple of days late. So every single month I was paying late fees, not because I didn't have the money, just because I had the direct debit set up on the wrong date. Or maybe your minimum payment is just a little bit shy, and so you're getting fees. Again, knowledge is power. And if you put together a very simple spreadsheet, and I'm totally happy to share mine if you go down to the bottom of the page after you watch this video, I'm happy to give you the spreadsheet that I used. It's very, very simple, and I just put down who I owed what to, so what institution I owed the money to, what the current balance was, how much I was paying each month, what the interest rate was. And I used that spreadsheet every single week because I wanted to update if I'd made extra payments or whatever. But it really does give you that knowledge and power. The first time you see it, you might want to vomit because you think it's better to not know than to face it. But it's not. As soon as you face that dragon, you're going to feel so much better, and then you can actually do something about it. The third thing to do is to come up with a plan. And I've got a few links down below where, I'll link to some strategies. I personally love the snowball method for paying off debt. It's a very, very simple method, and I'll link to some of my favorite resources about it. But basically, you come up with a plan of which debt you're going to pay off first. Some people pay off the smallest, size debt. Some people pay off the smallest interest rate debt the highest interest rate debt first. Whatever it is, it's totally fine. Both of them work. I really liked paying off the smallest debt first because it was really motivating to cut up a card to go, see you later, bitches. Someone asked too, should you keep the cards open, and I'll link to some resources on this, but I've got thoughts. Denise has got thoughts on this. Of course she does. And the thought is, if you know you're going to max the credit card out again, cut it up. It's not worth it. And different people say different things about having open credit card balance that you're not using. In some countries that can go against your credit rating, in some that can go for your credit rating. But I always think, whose best interest is that for you to have a lot of balance that you're not using? It's in the bank's interest because most people don't have the behavior change yet to keep from using it. So it's totally up to you whether you completely cut them up or not. But I'll link to some really good resources below so you can read and have a think by yourself. So that was the third step, is to have a bit of a plan. The fourth thing is to really make it automatic and not to worry and stress about it too much. Make sure you know when all your payments are going out. Make sure you know what your plan is so you know which debt you're snowballing first. All that kind of stuff. And then what I like to do is when I had extra money come in, I would pay it off some of my debts. And I wouldn't pay off all of it. Agree a percentage that you'll, if it might be 10% of anything that you make, you'll put extra off your debt. And that can be really motivating when you update your spreadsheet and go, oh my God, it went down again. Oh my God, this is so exciting. That can be really, really cool. The last thing I want to say, which is from a mindset point of view as well, is don't feel like you have to stop living your life just because you're in debt. Now, a lot of people go the other way and they continue to spend and they continue to get in more and more debt. But other people kind of live this life of like they're in debtor's prison. I can't do anything. I'm not allowed to do anything. And for women, that just doesn't go down to, I won't spend any money. That actually goes deep down into, I'm a terrible person. I don't deserve nice things. I don't deserve to do good things. I don't deserve to create success in my life. And you can still create a lot of success even when you're paying off debt. So for that, I mean, do things that don't cost you money but still make you feel really great. So go and use all your best perfume and wear your best outfits and use your best sheets. Really start to create that first-class life for yourself, even if you're not spending a ton of money. And you can reframe things. Like we used to say, we could go out tonight or we could stay in and watch Netflix, and then the money that we would have spent on dinner, let's put that off our credit card. And we'd be like, yeah, high five. So you can reframe anything, but the important thing is that you want to be living an amazing life all the time. Don't wait until you're out of debt to treat yourself like a first-class person and to allow yourself pleasure and fun in your life. So make sure you come over to luckybitch.com/debt if you're watching this on anything else. If you're watching this on my blog, you already have all of the links because I've created a lot more resources for you so you can get inspired, you can get excited, and you can get a plan to start paying off your debt, because living a lucky bitch life, living a first-class life, is to be living a debt-free as much as possible life. I'm not talking about good debts like mortgage and all that kind of stuff. I'm not a financial advisor, by the way, but it's just living your life where you don't feel like you're obligated and trapped by your debt. And also down below, you'll see the link where I give you my spreadsheet for paying off debt. Again, very, very simple, but it's worked for me, and it's something that I updated probably weekly when I was paying off my debt, and it was so motivating, and it happened much quicker than I ever expected it was going to. And you can do that too. So here's to you, lucky bitch, of getting out of debt, and I know you can do it. Bye. gorgeous Lucky Bee. Do you ever get frustrated that you're not earning enough in your business? Maybe you've hit an income plateau and you don't know why. You are not alone, and in fact, many women are totally blocking and sabotaging their income on a daily basis, and it sucks. Money blocks are sneaky. Some you might be aware of, and others could be totally hidden, and awareness is the first step. I'm Denise Duffield-Thomas, money mindset mentor and author of Get Rich Lucky Bitch. I've identified 7 main ways that entrepreneurs like you are blocking your income. And it's time to do something about it. It's much, much easier than you think. Sign up for my totally free Money Blocks workshop and start unblocking everything holding you back from making money and creating the life of your dreams. Just enter your details on this page or at luckybitch.com/blocks and you'll get immediate access to this free workshop. No fluff, just practical advice and solutions to those 7 pesky money blocks. You deserve to make great money in your business, and there's never been a better time to clear your money blocks. So see you on the workshop.